Hi all you music lovers, my name is Andy Rodriguez and I'm also known as the Black Spinner. And if you're new to my channel, this is episode number 8 where I go through my record collection. Now I've been record collecting for over 20 years now, and the way that I'm doing the show is that I'm going in alphabetical order and in chronological order, with each episode is a letter or an artist. Today, we start with the letter D. D as in Dokken, Def Leppard, and Dio. All are bands that are going to be featured on today's show. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Roger Daltrey. This was his debut solo. If you're not too familiar with Roger Daltrey, he is the lead singer of the band The Who. And this album was a little bit lackluster for me. I was expecting a little bit more pyrotechnics from his voice. But there wasn't very many songs to talk about here. There's the inside of the gatefold there. And this was, it's not something I'm going to be reaching for over and over. I did hear it yesterday just for the show, just so that I can talk about it and see if anything jumped out at me, but nothing really did. And the second album we have here, coincidentally, is someone who made a solo album who was also part of the British invasion movement. And that's Dave Davies. He was, or is, the guitar player for the Kinks. I don't think they've officially broken up. They just haven't released very much in a long time. But Dave Davies had released this. This was his third album. This was released in the early 80s. But this was a very good album. I really enjoyed this one. If you really enjoy 1980s music, but are tired of the same old 80s stuff that you hear all the time, this is really something to turn to, with good pop rock on it and some really good strong rock as well. Not just pop rock, but good strong rock on this. It's called Dave Davies' Chosen People, and if you can, go ahead and stream it. The songs on here that are good are Tagas and Charity, Love Gets You, Danger Zone was good. I enjoyed that song. And Take One More Chance, and Chosen People, which was the title track, and Freedom Lies. This is pretty good. That's Dave Davies. And what I have next is a band that is kind of new. Not kind of new, but they started in the mid-2000s. If you like that California 1970s laid-back country rock, you'll enjoy these guys. I enjoy them very much. Dawes, D-A-W-E-S. This is their third album. This is the only one I have on vinyl. I got their other stuff on CD. Stories Don't End. I've seen them about 3 times. And the last time I saw them, they were opening up for Electric Light Orchestra. My wife and I went to go see them, and we were very pleased. And I guess the guy in front of me noticed that I knew the band that we were watching, and he never heard of them. He goes, "Hey, so what do you know about this band?" So I was telling him, and I can tell he was like, okay, that's enough. You know what? Well, don't ask me a question if you don't want me to answer it completely. But yeah, I was going on and on because I really like this band. The songs on here are really strong. There's the inside gatefold of it. Oops. Ooh, almost scratched it there. There's the inside of it. The songs on here: Just Beneath the Surface, From a Window Seat, Just My Luck, Someone Will, Most People, Something in Common, Hey Lover. Hey Lover will be the fastest song on here pretty much. Bear Witness, Stories Don't End. This is a good album, but it is a very quiet and a very somber album, but the writing is just top notch, and the instrumentation by the band is really good. And from Dawes, we go off to, I think it's Sheffield, England, is where these guys are from. Def Leppard, On Through the Night. This is their debut album, and you can tell it's different from the others. The guitar is more biting, more of a metal guitar than what you're going to hear later on. This was when they were part of the wave of British, what did they call it? New wave of British heavy metal, something like that. And Def Leppard and Joe Elliott did not like that because they wanted to be more of a glam rock band. But when you listen to this, you'll see why they were put into that category of new British rock of heavy metal. Songs on here: Rock Brigade. Hello America is really good. It Could Be You. Satellite. When the Walls Come Tumbling Down. That's a rocker. Rocks Off and Answer to the Master. There's the back of it with the guys in action. And inside it's a paper sleeve. But yeah, Def Leppard, On Through the Night. Pyromania by Def Leppard. I used to have this on cassette when I was a kid. I still have the cassette back there. The songs on here are just top notch from beginning to end. This album is great. Let's go with Rock, Rock Till You Drop. Rock, Rock and Never Stop. Photograph, which is a song about Marilyn Monroe. Stage Fright. Too Late for Love. Die Hard the Hunter. Rock of Ages. Action Not Words. Yeah, that's almost 6 songs on there that I called off. They're really good. That's a good album. And this was when they were already, this hit them big in the mainstream. And then this is when they conquered the world. Hysteria. Def Leppard. Side 1 is top notch. Every song on side 1 was released as a single off this album. They released, I believe, almost 6 singles. There's Charlie back there. Say hi, Charlie. So we got 6 singles that were released on here. And let me read them to you. Woman, Rocket, Animal, Love Bites, Pour Some Sugar on Me, and Armageddon It. All that was on side 1, and all 6 were released as singles. And on side 2, Hysteria, the title track, was released on here. This is a great album. One thing is the last 2 songs on side 2, I kid you not, every time I hear it, I go to sleep. I don't know why, it always happens to me. And I briefly talked about this album here in the episode before with Eric Clapton, but I'm not going to skip this because Derek and the Dominos appears again, because it does start with the letter D, but it was part of my last episode that I did that was dedicated to just Eric Clapton. This is Derek and the Dominos, Eric Clapton on lead guitar and vocals, and also Dwayne Allman from the Allman Brothers doing some slide work. There's the inside of it. Layla and those other assorted love songs is the name of the album. It's a double album. There's how great it looks still. And the songs on here: I Looked Away, Bell Bottom Blues, Keep On Growing, Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, I Am Yours, Any Day, Key to the Highway, Tell the Truth, Why Does Love Got to Be So Sad, and Have You Ever Loved a Woman? I remember I had ordered this through Columbia House on CD, and that's when I first moved here to Houston in '99. And I would drive around with this in the CD player, and I just loved it. I thought it was great, and I still love it today. It is so good to listen to. And next we have something a little different. This is called the Definite Dickies Collection. The Dickies are a punk band from LA from in the early 80s, I believe. And a lot of their songs were, jokes, and but they played their music pretty hard and pretty rough. And they also did on this compilation their hit song, well, this was a compilation. So let me see if I can read, because of the way things are written on here, so dark. But they do a couple of covers. They do a cover of Black Sabbath's Paranoid, They do a cover of Banana Splits, which I think is pretty funny. And that's what was the thing about this band, is that they really were very fun-hearted when they did their songs. I can't read that. But they also do Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, and Nights in White Satin, which is really weird with the way that they do it. And they've got some really good originals on here too. And next we have the one of the best voices in heavy metal. Talk about Dio. This is The Last in Line. Songs on here where We Rock and On the Last in Line. That's really good. Breathless, I Speed at Night, and One Night in the City. All that is side one. This is, he really put together a really good rock band, or really a heavy rock band behind him. And Eat Your Heart Out and In Egypt, The Chains Are On is the epic that closes out the album. There's the album right there. I've got no sleeve in here. But he had a pretty tight band here with, I think it was Carmen Apiece was his drummer, or his brother. I can't read the writing. I need better lighting in this room. But also Vivian Campbell, who went on to Whitesnake, and right now he's currently the lead guitar player for Def Leppard. And next I have from them by Dio is Sacred Heart. The songs on here, I didn't like this one that much, but King of Rock and Roll, Rock and Roll Children, Hungry for Heaven. That was about it on this one. Oh, this has a little paper sleeve in there. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Hey, look, I can read this one a little bit better. Yeah, it's Vinny Apiece was the drummer. Carmen was the older brother. This is his brother Vinny, with Jimmy Bain on bass, who was in Rainbow, and Vivian Campbell, like I had said before. There's the guys right there, and there's the lyrics for the title track. And next we have another great album by Dio, Dream Evil. Doesn't that look creepy with that? With the mascot, with the Dio mascot in the back, kids asleep, and then all these underneath the bed. Dream Evil. There's the back of it. Look at that cover art. That cover art's awesome. And the songs on here are really good. This album is one of my favorites by Dio. Night People, the title track, Dream Evil, Sunset Superman is really good. All the Fool Sailed Away kind of loses its oomph that the other three songs had inside one. I Could Have Been a Dreamer is a pretty good song. It's kind of a ballad rock ballad. Faces in the Window was really good too. Faces in the Windows. And if you're not too familiar with Dio, his writing can be very mysterious. And one thing about Dio is that if you saw my episode with the letter B, when I talked about Black Sabbath, and I skipped the albums that Black Sabbath made with when Dio was their lead singer for two albums after Ozzy, it's because I don't like when Dio was in Black Sabbath, but I like Dio when he's solo and when he's in Rainbow, which I'll talk about that when we get to ours. But Dio and Black Sabbath, I just didn't get into it, but Dio solo, love it a lot. And what we have next is another hard rock band, this one out of Los Angeles, that formed in the early 80s and kept on rocking straight through the 80s, even still today. But this is their heyday right here. I'm talking about Dokken. This is their debut album, Breaking the Chain. There's the back of it with the guys right there. And this is their debut album, and it's okay, but it does show you what's to come. It's not a groundbreaking debut album by any means, but they do lay down the groundwork for the albums that come afterwards. The songs on here that I like were Breaking the Chains in the middle, Felony, and a live version of Paris is Burning. And Stick to Your Guns was just okay. But yeah, there's the back of it. I think I showed you all that. And the inside is just the Elektra cover there. And second, like I was saying, after their debut album really got people ready for their second album, Dokken, Tooth and Nail. There's the guys in the back. Consists of Don Dokken and George Lynch and Jeff Pilson. And what is the drummer's name? Mick Brown, yeah. Mick Brown. The songs on here are Without Warning, which is a instrumental. It's about a minute and a half instrumental that starts off the album. It goes into the title track, Tooth and Nail. Just Got Lucky is a great song. You just got lucky. You are a devil in disguise. Don't Close Your Eyes. Side 2 is the best side on this. Let's see here. When Heaven Comes Down, Into the Fire. Bullets to Spare was okay, but this album here has one of my favorite ballads of all time called Alone Again. And if you guys want to stream this on whatever streaming device you all do, I really do recommend listening to Alone Again. It's a really good ballad. There's the inside of it. That's a little dark for Dokken. And then the lyrics and the guys, you know, the 80s albums, they really did put a lot of work into them when it came to packaging. And this is my favorite album by Dokken. I used to have this on cassette when I was younger. Look at that. Under Lock and Key, Dokken. There's the back of it. And the inside, of course, lyrics. And then the guys right there. If you guys remember, MTV used to have a show called Dial MTV. And people would request their favorite, videos and it was a top 10 countdown every day. It was like after 5 after school. And this song right here, In My Dreams, the third track on side 1, that song was on the countdown for a very, very, very long time. And that's what made all these bands in the 80s so popular, was that Dial MTV. But the other songs on here, let's go through them. Unchained the Night, The Hunter, In My Dreams, Slipping Away, Lightning Strikes Again. That's side 1. Side 2, It's Not Love That Left You Standing. It's Not Love, Misunderstanding. That starts side 2. Don't Lie to Me and Will the Sun Rise. Yeah, this is a good album, Lock and Key. After that, they came out with this one, Back for the Attack. Look at that. That's an awesome album cover. Back for the Attack, and there's the back of it. Let's see the inside. The inside has a little bit of art to it. It's pretty neat. And then, again, pictures of the guys back there. The songs on here, Kiss of Death and Prisoner. Let me get back to it back here. It also has Mr. Scary. Mr. Scary is an instrumental. Heaven Sent. Heaven Sent, but you're not the one. And Night by Night and Standing in the Shadows. Oh, all that is inside 1. Man, you know what? I really, really liked Dokken back in the day. So many tears and Burning Like a Flame. And this ends with Dream Warriors. Dream Warriors was the title song for this movie Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors. And this album is special to me. It's another Dokken album, and for when it was Christmas, I believe in 1988 or 89, my mom gave me my first record player, and it had a CD player, the cassette. Oh well, I would use her turntable, but I guess she wanted me to get my own, and it was really neat. And there were a couple albums that I asked for that she got for me. Dokken. This is Beast in the East. This is the same one my mom bought me back in the late 80s. It's a double live album. There's, because it was live in Japan, so there's the thing there. So there's like it's like their flag in there. But this is called Beast in the East. And like I said, this is a double album. Let's see, is this just... Oh, it's the Electra paper there. Unchained the Night, Tooth and Nail, Standing in the Shadow, Sleepless Night, Dream Warriors, Kiss of Death, When Heaven Comes Down, Into the Fire, Mr. Scary. This is like a greatest hits live. I love it. I absolutely love it. Heaven Sent, It's Not Love, Alone Again, Just Got Lucky. This is like all these albums that I was just talking about by Dokken put into a live album. I like it a lot. And we move on to the Doobie Brothers. What were once vices are now habits. I enjoyed this album very much. They don't have... The tracking in the back is not what it should be. Let me see here. Side 1 that I liked were... Songs to See You Through, and then Pursuit on the 3rd Street. No, Pursuit on 53rd Street was a good song. Blackwater, of course, was the big hit off this album. And Road Angel. Road Angel has a really good guitar solo on there, and they really extend that song out, Road Angel. You Just Can't Help Stop It. And Down in the Track. Those were some pretty good songs on here. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't. Oh well. And, I do need to build up my Doobie Brothers record collection. I know that because I don't have very much. And after that, this is more of a boogie-woogie rock that they would do in the early 70s. And then in the late 70s, they would turn into an R&B kind of soulful band, along with Michael McDonald took over the lead vocals. And this album's alright. It took me a while to get used to, because I was so used to the rock style, and then all of a sudden they really turned gears, pretty much. And Little Darling, I Need You, Living on the Fault Line, and Echoes of Love, and You Belong to Me. It's a pretty good album. And this one here, which was their last studio album together, and then they'll get back together, but their last one, which was One Step Closer, there's the guys there. I wasn't too fond of this one, so I really don't have that much album to talk about on this one. And then next we have a band out of Los Angeles, California. Were so big in the late 60s. I know the album cover looks horrible. Talk about the Doors. This is their debut album. Look at all this. But the important part is this. Look how clean that looks, though. Look how clean that looks. That's the important part. There's nothing else in here but a paper sleeve. But the songs on here, let's go through them. Break on through the other side. This is not the greatest hits that I'm going to read out to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is the album tracks for their debut album. Soul Kitchen, 20th Century Fox, Alabama Song, Take Me to the Next, Whiskey Bar, and Light My Fire. That inside one. Side 2, Backdoor Man. I'm your backdoor man. Yeah. take it as it comes in the end. This is the end, my only friend, the end. And next, I think this was their second or their third. I think it might be second. Waiting for the Sun. This was the first outside of a compilation of the Doors I ever bought. And when I first moved to Houston, man, my cousin and I would go through this album like crazy. There's I Am the Lizard King. That's what that represents there. The songs on here, Hello, I Love You. Now, I know that a lot of people are familiar with their hit song off this, Hello, I Love You, but nothing else on this album sounds like that song. Nothing else. We got Love Street, Not to Touch the Earth, Summer's Almost Gone. Such a wicked guitar on there. Such a slow ballad. Wintertime Love and The Unknown Soldier. Side 2 is Spanish Caravan. The way that Robbie Krieger plays that guitar like a Spanish guitar. It just picks at it. And also this ends with 5-1. 5-1. That's great. And the next album I have by them is my least favorite by them. The Soft Parade. I really didn't dig this album that much. When I had bought it, I was disappointed because I love the song that's on here. The hit song off of here was Touch Me. Come on, now touch me, babe. Can't you see that I am not afraid? There's the inside of it. The cover art's, the inside art's really neat. I like that. It's pretty classic. But what bothered me about this album was when you read under Jim Morrison, Ray Manzarek, Robbie Krieger, and Johnny Densmore, are so many other people that were on this song. I mean, so many people on this album. And they just threw everything on this album. They threw saxophones, trombones, a conga, a fiddle, mandolin, French horns, and that's just not something that you expect or want to hear from a Doors album. You want to hear those keyboards and that guitar and those drums and just Jim Morrison talking about who knows what, but it sounded great. And I had gotten this when I was in high school. This was one of the first albums I got by them, and it is a compilation, The Doors' Greatest Hits. And I know there's a lot of other Doors compilations out there, which can be so long and so many times that they put out demos on there or unreleased songs where, they weren't released for a reason, some of these songs, because they weren't finished. They weren't complete. So I always stick to the official Greatest Hits releases. This has everything you want. Hello, I Love You, Light My Fire, People Are Strange, When You're a Stranger, Love Me 2 Times, Riders on the Storm, and Break On Through, Roadhouse Blues, LA Woman. Now, I do have LA Woman on CD, but I would like to have it on album. Oh, what's in here? Ooh. Which is a little run through of their albums that they released. Oh, that's a pretty good picture of Jim there. And then, of course, you got the lyrics to the songs. That's pretty cool. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's pretty neat. Let me see if I can show y'all a little bit more where it's focused. It's kind of written kind of where you can't really see it. It's light red on white. But that's pretty cool to see that. And then, of course, that's iconic right there. It's pretty neat. And there's a picture of the guys in the back. Super cool. And last but not least, so what I have with me here, I bought this one a couple of months ago, and I really enjoyed it, and so did my uncle Rene. Because when we go record shopping, we go straight to my house or to his house and throw on a couple and throw them down. And the Dregs. This is called Unsung Heroes. You could tell they all have tapes on their mouths there. And the reason for that is that this whole album is instrumental. You want to say it's jazzy and prog for the 80s, early 80s, I believe. And this, oh yeah, recorded from 80 to 81. This has some key people in here. Steve Morse is guitar and also leader of the band. He went on to play with Kansas, and now he is with Deep Purple. And he's been in Deep Purple for the past, I don't know, about 20 to 25 years already. And also the drummer Rod Morgenstein, which went on to be in Winger during the heyday of Winger, the first 2 or 3 albums. I don't know the songs per se, since all these are instrumental and sometimes they run together, but they're just a joy to have in the background, and you really enjoy it. Right there, the Dregs. And they've gone through different names, the Dixie Dregs, I believe, and, you know, different incarnations, but they've always had the same style of music. And that kind of concludes the letter D. This is my basic Ds. The next 2 episodes are going... The next episode is going to be strictly dedicated to the music of Deep Purple. And after that, the third episode for the letter D is going to be dedicated to just Bob Dylan. So I hope that y'all will join us. Will join me for that. And Charlie. If Charlie's still here. Yeah, Charlie's laying down on the chair now. You can't really see him. Let's see if you can. No, you really can't. So I hope that you'll join us next time. I really hope that you're enjoying this as much as I'm enjoying going through my record collection and listen. And I'm listening to things before I come on here, and I listen to things that I haven't heard in a while. So I'm really enjoying that. And I hope that the tips that I'm giving you might want you to go online or some streaming device or even YouTube. And also, you know, type in these songs or these bands and maybe do a little bit of exploring on your own. And maybe you'll find a favorite new band or just a new band to follow. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And y'all take care. And I'll see y'all next time here at the Black Spinner.